Hello, my most amazing artist. Today we are going to draw a dog photo booth. I heard from a little bird that you guys are obsessed with dogs. And that's great because... Hey, Miko. Hey. Miko, do you mind if we draw dogs? We're not sure. Let me ask her again. Hold on. Hey. Miko. Is it okay if we draw dogs? What do you think? Yeah? She says it's fine. Okay, good. I can draw dogs with you guys too. So that's really good because today we're going to draw some dogs at a photo booth. I hope you guys have a great time taking the dog photo booth challenge. I know you guys can draw as many dogs, and in such cute photo booths, you're gonna have a ton of fun. So go ahead, put your furry partner to the side and get out a piece of paper. You're also going to need a pen or a pencil for this challenge. This challenge can be done on a whiteboard. You can also, if you have crayons or markers or pencils and you're using paper, you can also color this picture when you're finished. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our dog photo booth challenge. Come on. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my paper on the table and I'm gonna get my pencil out over here. And I am going to take my paper and draw some squares on it. This is because we want our paper to look like it's a photo booth. So I'm going to draw squares on my paper. But before I do this, I'm going to fold my paper so my paper has sections for me to draw my squares in. It'll make drawing a little bit easier. If your paper isn't foldable, say you have a whiteboard, you should skip this step. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold our paper in half like a book. Crease it really nice. And then we're going to fold our book in half one more time. So take the folded corner, bring it over and across, fold it over one more time. That way you have sections of your paper that look like strips from a photo booth. If you are on a whiteboard, you should skip this step. You do not have to do this step if you can't fold your paper. So, keeping my paper folded, I am going to start with my first photo. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle in this paper. I'm going to draw a line straight across the top. I'm going to draw one line down either side. And I'm going to connect them with a line at the bottom. We are going to see how many dogs we can draw. So my first photo is about half the size of my paper. So I have room for another dog photo down here. So we're going to start with our first dog up in this square. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in with my camera so we can see our first dog picture. You've drawn your first square on your paper at the top of your paper. That way when you unfold it, you have different sections of different dogs. So we have our first square here. It's about half the size of our paper. And we're going to draw our first dog in this square. Let's get right in there. All right. So to draw our very first dog, we're going to keep it sort of simple. We're going to start with I think it is called, let me look it up. Yes, we're going to start with a bull terrier. So let's draw our bull terrier. First, we're going to draw a big letter U for the bottom of our bull terrier's face. And then we're going to draw a curvy line at the bottom for his nose. Then we're going to color in that line at the bottom so his nose is nice and black. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add two ears. His ears are kind of shaped like triangles, like Doritos or tortilla chips, but a little bit more curvy. So I'm going to start at the corner of his head, and I'm going to draw a curve that kind of curves out, and then bring it back down like a point. I'll draw a line across the head to where I want the other ear to be. So I drew a straight line across where I want the other ear to be. And I'm going to draw a curvy line that curves up. And then starting at the end of that curvy line, a curvy line that curves down. Then all I have to do now is add two cute little eyes. I'm going to draw two cute little dots for eyes. So I'm going to draw two little O's for eyes and fill them in. So he has two super cute eyes. All right, awesome job. That is our Bull Terrier. Let's go on to our next dog. If I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind. Our next dog in our dog photo booth is going to be a Dalmatian. We're going to move on to our Dalmatian second. So we're going to draw another rectangle underneath our Bull Terrier. So I'm going to draw a line across, two lines down, and a line at the bottom for our Dalmatian. Now, to draw our Dalmatian, we're going to start with a letter W for the mouth. I'm going to draw a curvy letter W for our Dalmatian's mouth. Then, right next to my letter W, I'm going to draw a letter V. And I'm going to draw two letter V's, one on either side. Now, I'm going to bring these lines up over top of the W. So I'm going to draw these letter V's up over top of the W. And then I'm going to connect them at the top with a straight line. So connect them at the top with a straight line. All right, that's the outside of our Dalmatian's head. We definitely need to give him a nose. So right here in the middle of the W, I'm going to draw a big oval. And I'm going to cover it in with all black. So color in that oval all black. All right. Now we want our Dalmatian to have his tongue sticking out, so I'm going to draw a letter U for his tongue and a line straight down the letter U. Give him two little dots for eyes. And then, you guys know what Dalmatians have. They have tons of spots. So we're going to draw some spots all over our dog. I draw my spots with circles or letter O's, and then I fill them in with black. I'm drawing my dog's spots with letter O's and then filling them in. You guys are doing awesome. I hope you are drawing along with me and taking the dog photo booth challenge. All right. I think my Dalmatian is all spotted up. He looks like he is ready to go. You could add their bodies if you want to, but because we are trying to draw as many dogs as we can, I'm going to skip their bodies for now. You can always come back and add their bodies later. All right, we're going to move on to our next dogs in our dog challenge. So if I open my paper up, I'm on our second column. I'm going to go ahead and draw two straight lines, one on either side. And I'm actually going to move to my pen so you can see my lines a little bit better. Two straight lines, one on either side. You should definitely keep using your pencil. I'm only using a pen, so it's a little bit darker. And then one on the top and one on the bottom. The way I drew these lines were I looked at this box and I tried to match the length on the top and the bottom. All right. The next animal we are going to draw is a King Charles Spaniel. We're going to start by drawing her chin, which is a letter U shape. So I'm drawing a letter U. Then I'm going to draw some curvy lines for her ears. And my curvy lines kind of look like letter U's all stuck together. So I'm going to draw lots of letter U's, some on their side, some not, all stuck together. Till I get to the top of her head. When I get to the top of her head, I'm going to make her ears come up into a curvy line, so a frowny curve. Kind of like putting a little hat on her head. So a little curvy line up there at the top, for the top of her head, connecting her two ears together. Then, in the middle of her head, I'm going to draw a big round nose. So a big squashed letter O. Kind of like an oval. And then I'm going to color this in. Once my letter O is colored in, I'm going to draw a line straight from the letter O all the way down to the bottom of my dog's chin. Now I'm going to give my dog two eyes. This time I'm going to make her eyes really cute and big. So I'm going to draw two letter O's that are nice and big in the middle of her head. And I'm going to draw two smaller letter O's inside of it and two even smaller letter O's in each corner. Then I'm going to color in her eyes, but not the tiny letter O's. All right, you guys are doing awesome. We have drawn 3 dogs so far, a King Charles Spaniel, a Bull Terrier, and a Dalmatian. All right, next we're going to draw a Sheepdog. So we're going to draw another rectangle underneath. And we're going to draw a sheepdog in this space. So, to start my sheepdog, I'm going to draw a big nose right in the middle of my paper. So I'm going to draw a big oval for my sheepdog's nose and color it in black. Right in the middle. Then, I'm going to draw a line that goes straight towards the bottom of my paper, but it's not too long. It's just long enough for a mouth. And at the end of that line, I'm going to draw an upside down letter V. So this is the bottom of our sheepdog's mouth. We're going to add a long tongue sticking out, so let's draw a letter U underneath that V, and we're going to put a line right in the middle of that tongue. Notice how I didn't connect that tongue to the top of the mouth? That's so that the tongue and the mouth look separate. All right. Our sheepdog is covered in hair. So what we're going to do for the rest of this picture is we're going to cover our sheepdog in hair. I'm going to draw curvy lines coming down off the sides of my paper at the very bottom for the bottom of my sheepdog's head. And then next to the nose, I'm going to draw curvy lines that come out sort of diagonally. So see how these lines go diagonal? And then at the top of my paper, I'm going to draw a letter M, but it's going to be a rounded letter M. Kind of like that. And I'm going to add more lines coming off, so he's real hairy, because sheepdog are super hairy. You can add more lines coming off. And right at the top of the nose, I'm just going to draw 2 little dots for eyes. And you can make this dog as hairy as you want, because sheepdog are super hairy. They're so fluffy. That is our sheepdog. All right, we're gonna keep moving down our row of our pet pictures, and we're gonna draw some more dogs. You guys are doing great. We're in our next column now. We start by drawing our rectangle. I'm gonna draw a line close to the top of my paper, and then I'm gonna draw 2 lines on either side of my paper that go down to about the middle of my paper for my next pet picture. All right, my next pet picture is going to be a poodle. We're gonna make a poodle in this box. We're gonna start with our poodle's head, which is a letter U shape. So draw a letter U on your paper. Then we're going to add our poodle's nose. Our poodle has a little round nose, like an oval. Color it in. And then you're going to draw a line that goes from the oval down to the bottom of the mouth. But I'm going to draw a curved line. Make it a little curvy there. The next thing we're going to add is we're going to add our poodle's eyes. So we're going to draw 2 little eyes for our poodle. So I'm going to draw 2 dots for eyes for our poodle. And then it's time to add our poodle's ears. So coming out from the top of our letter U's, we're going to draw really curly ears. So even curlier than our King Charles Spaniel's ears. I'm going to be using lots of curly lines, kind of like letter M shapes or a cloud shape, to make curly ears for my dog. So 2 big curly ears, kind of like how you would draw a cloud. It's lots of little letter M's. And then for the top of the head, we're going to draw a big poofy hairstyle. So I'm going to draw lots of curvy lines at the top of the head, kind of like a bunch of letter U's, all strung together. And then I'm going to keep my letter U's going all the way around the head. So lots of letter U's all the way around to make a big poofy hairstyle at the top. That is our poodle. You guys are doing amazing. We have drawn 5 superstar dogs so far. Our next super dog that we are going to draw is going to be a Labrador. Let's draw a Labrador next. We're going to start by drawing a frame for our photo of our dog. So draw a horizontal line, 2 vertical lines, and a horizontal line at the bottom of your paper. This is our photo frame for our next dog, the Labrador. And the Labrador has a letter U-shaped face, but it's more of a square letter U. So watch me first. I'm drawing a letter U that has more square edges. Look at my edges. They're a little more square than my round letter U's up here. See how these are a little more square? Then, on either side of the head, I'm going to draw a diagonal line that goes up towards the top corner. So I'm going to draw a line that goes up towards the top corner, going up this way. And I'm also going to draw a diagonal line going up towards my left corner. So find the bottom of your dog's face and draw a line that goes up towards the left corner. The next thing you're going to add is you're going to add a curved line that goes all the way to the top of your dog's head. So find the end of this diagonal line and draw a line that goes all the way up towards the top of his head. And do the same thing for the other side. Start at the bottom of that line and draw a line that curves all the way up towards the top of that dog's head. The next thing we're going to do is draw a flat line in the middle to connect these 2 ears. Awesome. All right. Our next step is we're going to add a triangle shape or a letter V shape right in the middle of his head. So draw a letter V shape right in the middle of this dog's head. A big letter V. We're going to draw an oval nose right on top. So draw a little oval, color it in. And then we're going to put 2 little eyes next to it. So I'm going to draw little circles for eyes, so little letter O's. And inside those letter O's, I'm going to draw 2 smaller letter O's and color them in. Oh, he's adorable. All right, all we have to do now is add his mouth. We're going to give him a mouth kind of like the sheepdog. We're going to draw a line straight down, and then instead of making a V that frowns down, we're going to add a W at the end. Awesome. That is our Labrador. You guys are doing fantastic. The next dog that we're going to do is a French Bulldog. I think you guys are going to do great on this French Bulldog. So let's get started at the top corner of our paper. And we're going to add one of our last frames. So let's draw a line straight across our paper, a line that goes down, another line that goes down the other side, and a line that goes straight across the bottom. Remember, we're trying to make it look like our dogs are in photo frames. That's why we are surrounding our dogs with rectangles. If this video is going too fast for you, you can always pause this video or rewind it at any time so you can hear the directions again, especially for the French Bulldog. For the French Bulldog, we're going to start with the top of his head, and we're going to draw a lowercase letter N for the top of his head. Then, for the bottom of his head, we're going to draw a little curvy chin. So kind of a little smile line. A little curvy chin down there at the bottom. Their noses are awfully short and stubby, so we're going to draw another letter N inside of this letter N. At the top of this letter N, the smaller one, we're going to add a letter V. And we're going to color that letter V in. All right, now we're going to draw two lines. One line that goes down towards the bottom, and then a little letter W that goes up towards the top. Awesome. Now we're going to add two little eyes, one on either side of his triangle nose. So I'm going to draw two letter O's and a smaller letter O inside of it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Then I'm going to color those eyes in. He is looking so cute so far. The next thing we need to add are his two ears. We're going to draw a straight line that comes up out of his head, right above where his eye is. And then we're going to draw from the top to the bottom a letter C shape. So kind of like a backwards letter C or a letter D. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Draw a line that comes up out of the top of his head, and draw a letter C shape that comes down towards the bottom of his head. Then, inside those ears, we're going to draw one little line that goes up towards the top. Oh my goodness, he is darling. Let's move on to our very last dog. Our very last dog on our list is our, drum roll please, our Lhasa Apso. We're going to draw a Lhasa Apso. Let's get her started. We're going to draw a line straight across the top, two lines down either side, and one line across the bottom. A Lhasa Apso has a ton of hair, kind of like our sheepdog. So first we're going to start with her nose, just like we did with our sheepdog. Lhasa Apso's noses are tiny and cute, so we're going to draw a little tiny oval, color that little tiny oval in, and then we're going to draw a little line going towards the bottom, and then a letter U going up towards the top. Now, over the whole thing, I want you to draw a big lowercase letter N, like that. For our Lhasa Apso's ears, we're going to give her two triangle ears. So draw two letter A's, but don't add the line in the middle. Two letter A's, but no line in the middle. Now, we're going to add another letter N inside of this one. So another letter N inside of this one. And then we're going to draw her little eyes. So let's draw two little dots for eyes. And above her eyes, we're going to give her long, beautiful eyebrows. So I'm going to draw curvy lines that curve down for her long, beautiful eyebrows. Kind of like our lowercase letter N. You could even draw a little bow on top of her head. But now we need to give her her side hair. So we're going to draw long lines that go from her mouth down towards the bottom. And then she has some hair on her chin too, because she is a very long-haired dog. So we're going to draw long lines that come down underneath her chin, and long lines that come down on either side. Now, if you want her to look extra cute, we can add a little bow up here at the top. I'll draw a little circle, color it in, and then I will draw a diagonal line that goes up towards the top, back down towards the bottom, and then a diagonal line that goes back in towards the bow. And color that in. I'll do the same on the other side. A diagonal line that goes up, a diagonal line that goes down towards the bottom, kind of like a letter V, and a line connecting them. Color that in. You could add some hair here in the middle, like bangs. You could give her hair coming out of the top, like a little poof. It is up to you. And our last dog is finished. Oh my goodness, our dog photo booth is complete. You have a couple options here now that you're done. You could give them names. You could use your crayons and add color. So for our dog photo booth, you can, now that you're finished, you have 5 minutes left, you can add names. You could draw bodies. You could draw collars. Or the best one yet, you could, of course, we know my favorite one, color. If you have colors with you, you can add color. If you chose to do this drawing in your sketchbook, then when you bring your sketchbook back to back to school, and I'll see it when I'm at work because I'm at work and you're at school. When you bring your sketchbook back to school, I would love to see the dogs you have drawn. All right, my friends, thanks for taking the dog photo booth challenge, and I will see you after spring break. Bye, everyone. Have a great spring break.